A young man by the name of J. Michael Henderson. Muncie people remember him as Mike. We're going to call him Michael because it's his professional name, J. Michael. Guitarist, songwriter, performed with Fleetwood Mac. You name the group, he's performed around the country. Los Angeles, Muncie, Indianapolis, all over the place. He's done a lot of neat things in his life, and he's had a lot of very interesting things happen to him. And it's our time to get a chance to meet J. Michael. It's really nice to have you here.
It's nice to be here.
Michael and I knew each other from several years ago, and we sort of got reacquainted as I found out more about the recording business and your particular professional life. This is his latest album, by the way. There's one that preceded this. What was the name of the first album?
It was To Make the Night Complete.
To Make the Night Complete. The second album is called Night People. We got a night person here for you. Jude the St. Bernard is Michael's dog. And Jude is one of the loves in Mike's life. And you talk about a large animal, Michael.
Sit down, girl. Now look at the camera.
I think Jude will just probably, yeah, there we go.
There she is somewhere.
Yeah. Is that
smile.
a face? Is that a face? Let me tell you. We don't have a face as sweet as that face right there. Jude, you can just relax and go to sleep if you want. Michael, you started out in music. You were going to be a doctor once, weren't you?
Yeah, I went to Western Kentucky University for a year in pre-med, thinking that's what I wanted to do. But after I got there, I discovered that wasn't the situation.
So you decided to stick with your music? Because you were in music much before that.
Oh, yeah.
Long before that.
Much before that, I felt that that was the way that I could, that's what I could do the best, and that's where I could reach more people rather than dealing in medicine or anything.
Yeah, so you did, after you left college, what'd you do then? Where'd you go?
Went to Colorado and went out there and got Jude.
Jude comes from Colorado?
Yeah, she's Fort Collins, Colorado, is where she's from.
Uh-huh.
And we hitchhiked back to Muncie. And
nobody would mess around with you carrying Jude, but Jude wasn't that big then, was she?
Pretty near.
Oh, was
yeah,
she really? You were in
close.
Great hands at that particular
That's
time with a
right.
dog that large. No one's going to play any tricks on you. In your music and in your writing and in your performing, what would you say? What was your absolute best time in the early days of your performing? What's the best thing that you did?
Well, I used to have a lot of fun when I was in high school playing in bands, like going wherever in the state and out of state on the weekends. And that was a lot. That's when it was fun. No bills, no responsibilities, of course. It was great, but then after time went on, things got a little bit more challenging, definitely. I can't think of anything in particular that's brought out in my mind. It was...
What was the worst time in your life in those early days of performing? You know, musicians, there's a lot of stereotypes about musicians today, the drug culture involved, the numbers of musicians looking for a break and not being able to find anything. Was it tough for you?
Not back in high school, because I wasn't really searching for a record label or anything at that time.
But after college, after you left college and you start looking at the professional circuit now, you start to decide that's going to be your career, it's going to be your life. Was it as tough as we sitting back here in the comfortable mid-America area think at least it's stereotyped to be?
It wasn't for a long time until recently. Now it's pretty tough. I'm getting pretty serious about it now.
Now you're getting very serious about it. You went through a car accident, what, 3 years ago?
It'd be 3 years ago this May.
How bad was the accident?
It put me in a coma for a week. And I had received brain damage out of it. And everything goes on from there, you know, just the frustrations of not being able to do what you used to be able to do.
When you came out of your coma, what did you know of your life that existed prior to the accident?
Nothing.
Zero?
Nothing for a while.
Did it start to come back, or did you train yourself to bring the memory back?
It started to come back slowly, and then I trained myself to different shortcuts to try and get my memory back. It worked pretty much. It's worked totally now.
When you say you suffered brain damage, temporary or permanent?
Well, temporary. I'm okay now.
Yeah, you're back to normal at this particular point?
I don't know if I was ever normal, but back to at least what I was.
What about motor development, motor skills, speech, the ability to perform music, those sort of things?
Well, it was all gone.
Everything was gone?
Yeah, everything was gone pretty much. And then it just slowly came back the more I trained myself for it. And just had to be by myself to do that.
Did you have to relearn the guitar all over again?
Guitar and piano, yeah.
The guitar and piano?
Mm-hmm.
From a teacher standpoint, or were you able to teach yourself and find out that the more you did, the more you remembered?
Yeah, that was...
It was like getting back up on a bicycle, maybe, or something.
Yeah, the more I practiced and everything, it came back slowly, but it came back. It was coming easier the more I rehearsed.
What the doctors had to say to you? What they say about your recovery?
Well, they didn't know. Basically, they didn't know how long it was going to be until I was able to function properly as a human being. Whether it be 2 years, 5 years, 10 years, or never.
What were you like? How do you assess you prior to the accident? What were you like before you had the accident?
I was okay, but I had some work that I was doing upon myself.
Mm-hmm.
That got interrupted a little bit, but I'm glad I'm where I'm at right now.
How did you change then after the accident? After you found out really where you were and what had happened to you previous, how have you changed since that?
I just have different values on life, on treatment of other people, treatment of myself. I view things different now a little bit. I've a little bit higher values, I think.
Did you not value life? Did you not value your friendships, or what? Is that what you're saying?
No, that's not what I was saying. Before the wreck, everything was okay. In fact, I was doing real well. But after I had the accident, I was at the bottom, and I didn't know how to get out. You know, I just didn't know, and learned a lot about life, basically. And the way people treated me, learned who my friends were, that's for sure.
What can you say about life now that you're looking at it from a little different perspective?
I'm glad I'm involved in it, definitely. Much more so than I did before I had the accident.
Is it more of a process of taking things for granted, just living a day by a day by a day, and now you're not doing that, now you're looking a little deeper into things?
Yeah, now I have to plan things. I didn't used to. Just whatever happened, you know?
Yeah. Just let the gig take it, whether it's a musical performance or whether it's just your day-to-day routine, whatever.
Pretty much. I take things a lot more seriously, certain things, now, and I do have to plan quite a bit because I've got much greater responsibilities than I have had ever.
Now you're trying to perform, you're writing, you're continuing to write, you're trying to market your own skills. Why is it so tough today and it wasn't so tough before?
There's a high turnover in the radio industry, for one thing. It's all new people that I'm having to deal with.
The DJs you're talking about?
Well,
program directors?
Program directors and music directors, the ones that are the deciders, actually, of what's played. They're all different, and they're basically not from this area and not familiar with what I've done, or what I do, for that matter. And it's like, you know, it's like I didn't have a first album out, and it's just starting over.
You know, I asked you this earlier today. You're still in Muncie, Indiana, and yet the record scene is L.A., Nashville, New York. Why are you still here?
It's called a regrouping process. That's what I'm doing. Just trying to get ready so I can go out with full force and have the product behind me.
And the product being what? Songs? A number of songs?
A lot of songs, good songs. Further experience in road traveling and playing and performing, everything.
Would you play something for us while we've got, before I tuck your arm off, I'm going to talk us right out of a chance to hear exactly what you do. Would you comment for me on that guitar? That's a gorgeous piece of hunk of instrument. What kind of instrument is that?
This is an Ovation Legend.
Beautiful.
Yeah, it's a real nice one. I got it about 1.5 years ago. I'm real happy with it. It's a acoustic electric, so I can plug it into a PA system.
Okay, so it allows you to do pretty much whatever you want to do. What are you going to do for us?
Well, I might as well do a song for Jude.
Seeing as how Jude has taken over our
That's
studio.
right, might as well, you know, that's what I say. This song is off my first album, Make the Night Complete. It's about my baby. If I could only tell you in your words, if you could only tell me in mine, I'm sure that we'd be apt to say the same things, apart there just could be no rhyme. But we've been together for a number of years. We've shared our laughter, we've shed our tears, but if we're ever to be apart, it would go on and break my heart. We've hiked in the Rocky Mountains and swam in the lakes back home and traveled across the country 9 or 10 times, I don't know. We've had our share of ups and downs, but we're mostly getting by and goofing around. But if we're ever to be apart, it would go on and break my heart. We've been together for a number of years. We've shared our laughter, we've shed our tears. But if we're ever to be apart, it would go on and break my heart.
It's a shame we're hearing a lone clapper
Thank you.
here, because we ought to have an
I'll clap
audience.
too. I thought that was pretty good.
Michael, very nicely done, and we
Thank
have
you.
run right out of time. Time passes us by quickly.
That's showbiz.
Best of luck to you, really. The latest album is J. Michael Henderson, Night People, and a third album is coming up, and he's going to do a great song about family, and he's got a great family in town. I don't have any more time to talk. I'm so sorry.
Well, it's
Best of luck
been
in
my
your
pleasure
music.
being here.
My pleasure to
Thank
have you here. Tomorrow night, more good shows on Second Look. I hope you'll be with us. See you then. Goodbye.